Mr. Chairman, sir, at the outset, I am very thankful to the Honourable Member Ba Arden Basamoit and Dr. Mukul Sangma, who jointly moved the cut motion against the grant number 16. And also the honourable members who participated in this discussion. Honourable MLA Mr. Kaji from Rajabala, or Honourable MLA Dr. Amprin Lengdo, Honourable MLA Mrs. Mimi Dishira, Honourable MLA Mr. Rupa Marak, and Honourable MLA Mr. Nujorki Sungo. They are all participated to this cut motion for the in the style and functioning of the police department in the state of Meghalaya. As an introduction, sir, Meghalaya Police, which is the sentinels of law in the state, has been pivotal in bringing about peace, prosperity and progress in this lovely state. Throughout the 50th years plus journey of the state, Meghalaya Police has overcome dire challenges of insurgency, agitations, riots, heinous criminal activities, border conflicts and many others despite with so many challenges that we have. Sir, the valor and courage exhibited by the officials of the department and the police personnel while tackling these challenges has not only received conferment of distinguishable awards from the state government, but has also received nationwide recognition. Meghalaya Police has a rare distinction of crushing 3-decade-old militancy with limited involvement of the Indian Army and Central Armed Police Forces, and earned accolades and praises from the central government and central agencies, as well as the fellow citizens of our state till today. Sir, coming to the submissions and issues raised by the honourable members, number one is the issue of road safety. Sir, the honourable member from Nongkrem has expressed his concern about the road safety, which we really seen it on the ground. The grave concern has created, which is almost every day the unfortunate accident happens throughout the state. And the reasons are already raised and mentioned by the members. Sir, there are so many reasons, the factors, which ultimately lead to the unfortunate accident. Sir, yes, this issue, the issue of road safety is not only related to the home police, but we have multi-correlated department which needs to be grouped together and fight against these challenges. And I'm also in line with the proposal submitted by the Honorable Mover that, and along with the Leader of Opposition, that the board has to be revived as per the Meghalaya Vehicles Act. Board has to be revived, has to be again reactivated, because this is the need of the hour to see that the road safety is to every citizen in the state of Meghalaya. So, sir, as far as this issue is concerned, we will surely examine, we will surely revive the functioning of this board as prescribed by the Motor Vehicle Act. And I'm sure from now on, once the board is again reactivated, we will be able to cut down the unfortunate incidents that keep happening till today. Sir, the traffic issues that we have, in the state, especially in the capital of Meghalaya, Shillong, is a chronic issue. Till today, we have these problems, sir. And now it started not only in Shillong city alone. The traffic congestion, the traffic issues has even gone down to the district headquarters throughout the state, which is the reality now. So again, as far as this traffic congestion issues, we would like from the police department to again strengthen further or create more traffic branches. We would like to create more traffic branches in such areas wherever needed, so that we can regulate the traffic in a manner where the pedestrians and all the users of the public transport does not suffer. So, sir, we are, from the government side, we are examining these issues very, very seriously. And as far as fine is concerned, sir, well, I will see that as submitted by the Honorable Mover, by Aden Basomoit again, that fine should not be the priority, but I personally feel even the punishment should be the priority first, not the fine. We need to guide, we need to explain those reckless drivers that they need to follow the rules and regulation as already specified. So jointly, sir, from Home Police as well as from the enforcement of the Transport Department, we will further strengthen the controlling or the regulating of these acts. And I am sure people of the state should also cooperate with the enforcers official, be it in the city or be it in the national highway, in the state highway, or maybe the major district road. Sir, I would also like to appeal to all these, all the stakeholders as far as the recklessness in driving. I think it is very, very important that the concerned drivers, the concerned driving person should also take the whole responsibility to make sure that the unfortunate incident does not happen halfway. Sir, as far as recruitment board is concerned, I think few issues again raised by the honorable members relating to the age issue, comparing to the board's revelation of other nearby states. Sir, I just would like to mention here, we already have this revised uniform guidelines for recruitment of police personnel in Meghalaya. And this office memorandum was again notified on the 1st December 2023. And these are all in the public domain. These are all in the public domain. And sir, before even coming out of this office memorandum, we have already done the due consultation as far as the age is concerned. As far as the age is concerned, so I don't want to deliberate much about the issue of age, as I've said, because the office memorandum is already in place, and it is also in the public domain. Till today, there is no such complaint from any quarter about this particular issue. So, and then the point number 2, sir, relating to the transparency of the examination. Sir, few members, they mentioned about the transparency. They're concerned about the transparency. Let me just again reiterate and refer back to the office memorandum of the guidelines in recruiting the police personnel in Meghalaya Police Force. I would like to mention here, sir, that transparency is the topmost criteria of the department. And I would like to place it on record, sir, and thank the members of the board under the chairmanship of the IGP and all the members of the board. Day and night, they did not sleep. So many complaints, right from the stage of advertisement up to the pet stage, written stage, and ultimately now we were able to declare the result. And in the process of that, few members raised about the marks. The mark that, because pet and written, mark was displayed. Sir, we have gone through all the details, all the ruling of courts, be it from the Supreme Court, be it from the High Court. Ultimately, why we did not declare the marks of personal interview. There is a standing ruling of the Supreme Court which says you need to maintain that privacy. And due to that process, we did not. But anybody who wanted to know the actual marks or the actual position that they had, it is easily accessible. They can easily check themselves, and or they can even online send the complaint or send the question to the board, and the board will easily reply accordingly. So this is what is happening right now, sir, and we try our best to make sure transparency is the utmost agenda of the government. And sir, in addition to that, this government, what we have done it, we make sure, as I've said to you, because so many members, they came and met me also, is it possible to help the candidates so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. Even my own people who were there, sir. But now the process that we adopted is so beautiful, and we don't have any pressure. Whatever you say, there is no other pressures nowadays. Because why? They already knew. PET plus written, they already knew how much the mark they got. And then in the Viva or in the personal interview, they have only 50 marks. So that 50 marks also they know. Even if they have 100%, they pass out 100%, they score 100% of that 50 marks. Still they already knew how much they get the PET and how much they get the written marks. So ultimately, sir, those concerned candidates, I am very sure, till day before yesterday when the result was out, they don't have any doubt as far as the conduct of the recruitment process that made this time. So, sir, I would like to again share with the honorable members of this August House that transparency is a non-compromise subject of the government, and we will make sure, we will continue to do that. And the leader of opposition, I think he even raised and the concern of the delay in completing the process of recruitment. Sir, let me assure the House, the next recruitment, which yesterday or day before I did mention that about, till today I speak about 1,050 plus posts are lying vacant. The moment the process of appointment is completed, because on the 5th, we have already fixed 5th, we will issue the appointment to all the successful candidates, and immediately, I've directed the board, immediately start processing for the next recruitment, so that the police force and the policing system that we have in our state can be really maximized as far as possible. Sir, few members mentioned about the police infrastructure, like construction of police outposts, construction of police station building. Yes, sir. Again, these issues also is very, very important. If we really wanted to give the best policing in the state, we really need this basic infrastructure. And from one year to another year, we keep doing that, because it is also depending upon the availability of funds. We are trying our best, sir, to make sure that the infrastructure up to the police outpost or police station is at least available for the better functioning of our police force in these areas. Yes, sir, we do have a challenge of shortage in manpower as far as urban police is concerned. Again, this is also a concern of Honorable MLA from Ampati. She did mention about this. So I will examine, I will try my best to make sure that the women police personnel are also posted in all these designated places up to the level of outpost. And also she mentioned about cybercrime. Yes, sir, we are strengthening the cybercrime, and we do have also a full-time SP in charge looking after the cybercrime, and to combat the latest technology that we have today, we will further strengthen this wing also. Sir, I think the honourable member, they also mentioned about the misbehavior of police force. Sir, we do have a training regularly. I used to share with our DGP, Madam Nongrang. We shared about the concern of the public in the state of Meghalaya. Especially sometimes people, the moment they see, as he rightly said, the moment they see the police force or the police personnel, they run away. They're so scared. So when we try to discuss about this issue, sometimes even me, I fail to understand why are we scared, the police personnel? So ultimately the issue comes to my mind. There is two issues. One is because they are criminal, so they are scared, they run away. And number two is maybe some kind of misbehavior. Maybe it happened in isolated place or isolated cases. Maybe, sir. But let me inform the honourable members of this August House, now we are upscaling the training as far as behavior is concerned of the police personnel, that they should be friendly, they should be also accommodative, and they should not just act. First, they need to also listen about any particular issues when they are encountering with such cases in their duties. Sir, yes, again, I think they mentioned about the salary of the Home Guard. Just last year, towards the end of last year, we have decided from Home Department, we had a meeting jointly with Home Guard and Civil Defense. And then we decided that now, from now on, the salary head has to be again transferred to Civil Defense and Home Guard. And I'm very sure from now on, maybe starting from this last financial year, we will not have any further issue as far as the salary of those Home Guards requisition by the police department. So, again, some MLAs raised about the issue of fire tenders. The fire tenders, sir, yes, we have old fire tenders vehicle. We are trying our best to replace it on phases. We can't go it in one go, but we will try our best to make sure that this replacement takes place on annual basis, and not only vehicles, but there are so many equipments which needs to be also updated from time to time. And again, Madam Dr. Amprin Lungdo, she did mention about the district task force. Sir, yes, we will examine about this district task force, which she did mention about the parking lot, because again, this is also correlated to different department, urban affairs department, transport department, then home and municipal. So therefore, sir, we will. I have already noted down. We will see this to happen. Yes. Okay. Yes. The rate also is already notified here, sir. The rate local taxi excluding embarkation at disembarkation areas rupees 50 per day. Tourist taxi rupees 80 per day. Tourist taxi Innova 150, Sumo taxi 100 rupees, and bus rupees 200 rupees. This this is paddy, and these are in the in these parking lots, designated parking lots. And this also has been, before the notification comes out, it has been shared and also decided jointly with all the local authority, Rangbasnong, so on and so forth. So, sir, I think quite a number of points maybe I miss out mentioning about it, but let me again, once again, assure the honourable members, especially the movers of these motions, that whatever issues raised or submitted by yourself is noted down, and we will see as far as possible how to attend to all these issues as required. So, sir, with these few words, once again, I would like to request the honourable mover of this court motion to kindly withdraw the court motion so that grant number 16 can be passed.
May I know the mind of the mover?
The mover of the court motion expresses his mind before the August House. I would like to just thank the Honorable Deputy CM for elaborately attending to those concerns. But only few issues which I would like to, less it skips his attention in as far as these concerns are related. Now, I suggested that there is a need to rationalize the sanction of the existing police stations. So there are very important areas, including the interstate border and the international border. For example, if we look at the sanction post of Peninsula, it is just 18 posts. Effective members are less because of the vacancy. But the total sanction strength is only 18 posts, including 4 UBSI, and rest are all constable level. Then Sora, it's a very important tourist destination. Now to regulate traffic behavior, erratic riding, road safety aspect, there's so many multiple roles these people have to play. So Sora is again very less. It's just 23, but the effective strength at the moment is very less because of substantial vacancies. Shela, again only 9, is another area where lots of incidents of unpleasant criminal activities have drawn the attention of the state. It is Shela, because so many other activities, including commercial activities. I think these are areas. So the figure is available. In fact, we had constant review earlier also, and there was a conscious decision that all these police stations must be upgraded in respect of the strength. Now, Rongjeng is again corridor of activity, commercial activity, national highway. The total sanction post is only 14. Then effective strength at the moment is less because quite a substantial vacancy. Songsak, the effective strength, total sanction is 20. Effective strength is around just 10 plus, 12 to be specific. So these are areas, these are national highway, then lots of other activities actually have been reported from these areas. This Songsak to Mendipattar stretch used to be always a challenging route from law and order perspective. That Rongjeng to Dainadubi, the whole stretch is a big challenge. So many incidents of crime, including ambush, etc., has taken place in this route. Then similarly, the other areas in the border areas, the figure is available with us because the reply is there on the unanswered question. So this is one area. Then another part is in respect to the other areas of concern, these areas of lack of opportunity resulting into frustration, anger, this law and order, dealing with law and order is connected with all these things. So I think Honorable CM, I have whispered to his ear certain things last time while we were waiting for the governor to come. State Security Commission must sit immediately. There are concerns because there are certain things which we cannot share in this August House. There are certain things because we have to always look at ramification of whatever discussions emanate out of these type of issues which we bring up before the August House. Not everything can be discussed here. That's the reason why we should have that State Security Commission meeting and as far as possible have it on a regular basis because this is designed in such a way so that then without having to wait for any kind of element of surprise, we are able to deal with these issues. So my submission may kindly be noted. There are many things that we can discuss in State Security Commission. And with these few words, I make my submission.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, sir. I think the points raised by the Honorable Leader of Opposition is noted. And as far as the seating of the Meghalaya State Security Commission, I think last time we have decided that at least quarterly we should meet. Quarterly we should meet. And just now, even CM said we are going to have this commission meeting very soon from today. And yes, sir, the issue again for rationalization of the police station, police outpost, this is also very important. I will again sit down with my senior officers, with the GG, and we'll work out in a way that those police stations cannot be compromised in shortage of manpower and infrastructure and other things too, sir.
One more point, Mr. Chairman, sir, I forgot to just ask for this revival and restoration of SF-10. It's very important. Let us not be complacent. So I think kindly take cognizance of this importance and then kindly indicate the stand.
Yes, sir. SF-10 is very much active and we maintain that and we continue also to further strengthen their functions.
Yes, Barton.
Thank you, sir. I would like to thank the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister for his specific reply to the court motion and to various concerns raised by all the participants in this court motion. So, however, I need just one clarification because when I speak about the black spots area, I mean to say the narrow bridges, then the abrupt curves, steep slopes, uncontrolled intersections, and inadequate lighting. And the government of India has officially defined black spots in this way, sir. A 500 meters stretch in a national highway where 5 or more fatal grievous injury accidents occurred, or 10 or more fatalities occurred in the last 3 years. So in this situation, sir, in case maybe the government has conducted, may I know from the honorable ministers, how many black spots in the state, highways, national highways, internal roads have been identified by the department concerned as black spots, sir?
So far, sir, right now we still don't have the survey to exactly know or identify the black spot. So now I think the submission or the suggestion made by the honorable member from Nongkrem, sir, is noted, and I will personally have also a meeting immediately so that we can identify these black spots throughout the state, sir.
So one more be just another one, sir. When we go from the on the way to Jowai, whenever I return home, in the evening you will encounter one, where these lighting that comes from those street lighting, are blinking. So it really disturbs the drivers. So if you can immediately take up that matter, I think everyone who traveled that road will agree with me that every evening we'll see the blinking light coming from those street lighting from Madan Ritting onwards. So that I think has to be addressed because it really disturbs the driver, sir.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so once again, I would like to thank the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister. After having clarified the concern of the members, I would like to withdraw the court motion.
Since the mover has withdrawn his cut motion, now let me put a question before the House. The question is that the cut motion is withdrawn with the leave of the House. Those who are in favor say aye. Those who are against say no. The ayes have it, and the cut motion is withdrawn and the leave of the House, with the leave of the House. Now let me put a question before the House. The question is that grant number 16 be passed. Those who are for the motion say aye. Those who are against say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried and grant number 16 is passed.